Welcome aboard the Mothership Lexodus, your transmission hub for the current of consciousness. Each report explores the energetic weather beneath world events, the archetypal currents shaping our collective story. This broadcast draws inspiration from conversations within the healing community, including insights shared by Tailored Healing Collective, whose work helps map the subtle patterns linking body, earth, and cosmos. Tonight's report, the 52 Code and the Return of the Dark Feminine. This week, actress Kimberly Hébert Gregory passed away at age 52. At first, it's just a headline, but when we slow down and listen symbolically, numbers like 5 and 2 start surfacing everywhere. Inside her age, inside 2025 itself, and deep inside the history of Louisiana, where her Hébert name echoes the Acadian Cajun lineage. Another headline this week came from Chicago, where federal and local forces clashed with protesters, and a woman lost her life. The facts are still developing, but what struck me was the pattern. A feminine figure meeting state power at a moment of collective tension. In symbolic language, that image belongs to the same current as the Hébert line and the 52 Code, the dark feminine being met by the machinery of control. Historically, every time this motif appears, from the 1755 expulsion to civil rights marches, it signals the collective struggle to integrate what has suppressed itself. Intuition, empathy, emotional truth. Back in 1755, the British expelled the Acadian people from Nova Scotia in what was called the Great Upheaval. Many of those families carried the Hébert name and resettled in Louisiana. 2 5s, 1755, double Mercury energy, double change. It reduced to 9, the number of completion. That exile closed one world and began another, the birth of Cajun culture. So 1755 is the seed moment of displacement. 2025 is its mere cycle. 270 years later, the completion wave, where the 18th century's cannon fire scattered bodies, our century's media fire scatters symbols. Let's decode the digits. 5 is movement, freedom, the spark of Mercury. 2 is balance, receptivity, the lunar feminine. Together they make 7, initiation, awakening, spiritual comprehension. Every time this 5-2 pair reappears, 1755, 1855, 1955, and so on, we see humanity push to shift form. In the sky, 2025 carries a strong Pluto and Aquarius signature as well. Old systems breaking so collective consciousness can evolve. It's the same frequency that once drove ships across the Atlantic. Now it drives data, ideas, and souls through digital currents. Louisiana's story is a double helix. The French Acadian strand and the African Creole strand. One European and fire-oriented, the other African and water-oriented. Their intertwinement birthed Creole, language, jazz, and a spiritual alchemy that turned trauma into rhythm. Kimberly Hébert Gregory's life, an African-American woman carrying a French surname, embodied that merged DNA. Her death at 52 in 2025 is like the two strands momentarily separating, so they can be rewoven at a higher frequency. In mythic terms, this moment feels like the dark feminine going underground, the Persephone phase, withdrawal before rebirth. When the feminine current descends, the masculine field loses its mirror and must face its own shadow. That's why our culture feels so tense. We're watching authority structures react to the loss of the external feminine by trying to control her form again. But archetypally, every time she dies, she returns with greater sovereignty. So what does this mean for us? Not as spectators, but participants. The numbers say 7, initiation. The history says 9, completion. The sky says Pluto and Aquarius, collective rebirth. Our task is to integrate the two currents, to speak with the clarity of the Cajun canon while listening with the depth of Creole mother. In practice, pause before reacting to the news. Ask, what archetype is moving through you? Creation and destruction are sharing the same microphone. As we move through October 2025, expect this 52 frequency to keep surfacing. Reversals, role flips, hidden voices coming back online. It's the final echo of a story that began in 1755, when our ancestors were forced to move. The movement now is inward, from reaction to reflection, from division to integration. That's the current of consciousness beneath today's headlines. Gratitude to all teachers and healers whose insights inform these transmissions, for their continuing inspiration and holistic and consciousness-based work. Until next time, keep your signal clear and your awareness tuned to the deeper currents moving beneath the noise. You've been listening to the Current of Consciousness report from Mothership Lexodus.